give an upset win. I know over on D2CL just 61% to 39% as far as the votes go there. We actually ended up having over on JD, it was 80%, or 80.88% against 19.12%. That's, well, it was a little bit steeper over on Join Dota in favor of Na'Vi. But we have a lot of Na'Vi fanboys over on our page, so would explain a little bit more. Vanscore's gonna have a bit of a quick check. Yeah, Vanscore.
30
What's he doing?
seconds.
What is he doing? Is he trying to drag him? I think he's trying to drag him down. There's a pause right now. Did he DC? Did he DC? What are you doing, Vanscore? It's good luck, have fun. Good luck, have fun, and 1 point goes to Power Rangers. They get nothing for it. They get nothing for it. It just seems that Vanscore has suicidal tendencies. He spent every cent of his money. That's why I checked it. I clicked on him. He had 0 gold on his hero. And they're just like, well, okay. Funnick will need 2 minutes to work out what the hell just happened right then. And, well, Power Rangers. I don't. Is at this point Power Rangers will they fall for the dream hack? 2 years ago move that was done by No Tide Hunter back in the day. Oops! Did we die to Roshan? Would you like to come and have a look? Never happened before in the history of Dota. That moment right there. Oh. I know if they're also asking, like, are you actually in Roshan? Because Power Rangers have no vision of this. This is the actually this is the dive. Wait, they do. They put a ward on top of a ward. Oh, yeah, they did. They did. Alright, yeah, they are not falling for jack all. Didn't realize that a Vor's actually standing directly on top of a dire observer ward. They're not falling for anything. They know Na'Vi are not going Roshan. This bait has quite well failed. Oh man. I assume he just DC'd. It's the only explanation is he just DC'd. Well, while we got ourselves a moment here, boys and girls. If you want to, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. Go over and buy up the little couriers. The little courier, a little like mini Tuskar. It's like his removed cousin, like 3 times removed, of course. But yeah, you can buy up the package. You'll increase the prize pool. We've already gone up to a nice hefty sum. Because we'd love to push it up even further for the LAN finals. So get yourself over and do that one. And of course, you can follow me on all my social networks. If you are over on VK, I started using my page again. So it's Toby1 Dota for everything. That's Twitter, Facebook, as well as VK. Alright, so, the answer is... He's on wheels, damn it! This guy's on wheels! Until Vanscore dies, looks like he's going to be bugged out with animations. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now he's actually walking properly. Yeah, but it was on purpose. I have word from the Na'Vi camp that the feeding was on purpose. It was meant to distract them, as well as just have you a quick little jump back to base. Now J4, well, that's a really nice room for him to have early on, and it's going to make Funnick burn through his extra consumables, and this is not what he wanted to have happen. The Ignite level up also allowed Okamashar to get 3 attacks into him with that double damage, and he will zone Funnick out now. Anchor smash and no anchor smash. And Funnick, oh, J4. the battle invading of the giants. Then he's going to be forced back in towards the middle lane. This brings back memories, free-to-play documentary. Dendi solo mid as Viper with a tree and protector support. And they run a Wisp Naga combo in the mid. Well, on bottom lane, Cheshire Cat versus Savorst. This battle could actually go either way. And because it's not a Timbersaw offlane, they actually run Shashlo on the safe lane as the Timbersaw. So the ET actually works a hell of a lot better up against the Slark in the early stages. And Timbersaw knows he can actually do a hell of a lot more up against the Tidehunter as well. So there's kill potential on this top lane too for PR. They'll need more levels into Okamajai first, and they also need to make sure he's got the mana for it, which currently he does not. And Dendi's going to have a real rough time here in the mid. You've already got the bottle coming up, so that's a 1 minute 30 bottle. Flying the way of the Wisp. No. Phonic. Did she make a success? Yeah, he did. Just by standing still in the trees, he juked J4. But this is going to be actually just a rough lane early on. Actually noticing where Dendi is sending most of his damage. Rajesh here. FNG. The rune's sitting on top of him. It'll be an Invis rune taken by the Treant Protector. And Vanskor, well, he's moved up. He's only leveled up Hex to start with, though. And there's living armor for FNG. And they're considering a fist bump into him. The body block from the Invis body block coming out. This is not really what Sleater wanted to have happen, though. He just actually had just a fraction of a second of that bottle charge cancelled by the creep. Giving a little bit of a buff up in Cheshire Cat. But all this is meant to go into the Viper. And back to what I was about to say before about the Viper in the mid. Dendi's actually focusing a lot of his attack into the Naga Siren. So trying to tick it down, force the ball charges to blow here, but they're actually running dual bottles in the mid. So that's a lot of heal and regeneration coming up against Dendi. And like, what does he even really do against this? It's like survivability is the only thing. It's almost a point where I don't know if Dendi really wants to go into a bottle build here. It might be better just to build up. Oh, Phonic. Anchor Smash. The Whirling Death doesn't care about that. Level 2, in fact. Into that Whirling Death allows him to have that bonus damage to bring down the Tidehunter. Wow, really, Timbersaw? Could you not say cut you more? God, he talks a lot, that guy. You know what they say about men with big machines. Never shut the hell up. That's what happens. I don't have a car, so you can't. I'm an exception to the rule. But then he's back to doing his pulling. If he can just keep his distance here, if he can avoid going into the bottle build, because there's no way he's going to win the direct damage. So for him, it's just his own basic regeneration and stay on top of the CS. Bottom lane, oh, they get the leash on Cheshire Cat. Vanskor, gonna wait until he can follow up with the stun. And there you go. Slark picked up the kill. Obervan to keep that slow on him. And now we go technically 1-1 on the board. It's not a 2-1. It's a 1-1. But this is where it gets problematic and actually really quite great for the Power Rangers. When you can have a Naga Siren who's got all the mana in the world, obviously the Wisp just wasn't able to control that rune, and you actually got the Treant Protector taking the double damage rune. So this double bottle isn't working the way they really wanted it to. Primarily because, like, you got one bottle empty at the moment. And they don't get a refill. Like, it's all meant to be about rune control. And Navi's kind of shut that one down. So they've got a lot of money here, which isn't really having any kind of effect until you send it back with a courier every single time. Yeah, and Dendi, he's just surviving with living armor. What level are we actually sitting on that for Treant Protector? And it was, so I was wondering if FNG would try and prioritize the living armor in this game as opposed to like Leech Seed or anything else. And he put the 2 points up into the living armor, so Dendi can survive. He picks up a Ring of Basilius. So giving him a full Ring of Aquila when he combined up with the Wraith Band. And even a little bit of Magic Stick Charge for the other spam. FNG's low on life because obviously farming up inside the jungle. We'll go back and heal. Oh, nice and snare and Cheshire Cat. The living armor though is still protecting Dendi. The stomp to follow up. It's going to hold Dendi in position. He doesn't have 6 charges available. Vanskor arrives a little bit too late, but Naga Siren, they're going to get hexed up and take a lot of damage from the tower. But they got what they came for. The ET rotated up. They took the kill. The downside is Force is getting a lot of momentum down here, but at the same time, Shashlo is doing the same thing up on the top. Even Shashlo going in for an Orb of Venom. This is how much they really just wanted to make sure they had lane dominance over that Tidehunter. But really good rotations coming out from Power Rangers. I said this team needed momentum. And they're definitely on their way to gaining it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Overall, they're actually ahead by 1,500 gold. A little bit behind in the experience, but that won't be much of a problem. Again, they're not going to get their rune control. Navi is right on top of it. A Vorce takes one, FNG takes the other. So again, you've basically got this extra cash from the bottles doing nothing in the mid. But even with that disadvantage, they're still ahead of the ball. And that's what it's all about for them. So we need another minute in for Na'Vi. I don't know what's going on with FNG. Just so everyone knows too, I know there are some other games scheduled for Na'Vi tonight. They've got a match up against Cloud9 as well as up against BBC. They will be using their wildcards for those matches. We have been assured by the Na'Vi management, as well as in fact the players themselves, FNG was the man saying it, that no matter what happens, Na'Vi will play out this entire best of 5. No breaks, no pauses. We go through one game after the other. There is no stopping this final from being played. Now, J4, trouble. He's got 3 FNGs to choose from. And right now, FNG, he gets stunned up too much. Funny doesn't have a gush, so he can't slow him down. He needed the leech seed. That was the primary thing that was required to get that kill. At the same time, I end up losing a kill in the bottom lane. It's going to be a Vorst taking a kill underneath the tier 2 tower, while Naga Siren dies under the tier 1 tower in the middle lane. A solo kill to Dendi, and a Vorst even scouting out Itzy, who's running himself down that mid lane. They're not fast enough to catch up to him, but all they really want is to kill in the mid. Look how far up Dendi is coming. And a Vorst running in with no mana. He used his Shadow Dance to dive onto that tier 2 tower before. Slips through. Now the snare over on Dendi. Support's going to be there from FNG with the living armor. So Dendi is protected for the moment, running up the river. Even though support's going from behind, Vanscore couldn't get the stun over on the Wisp, but he'll get the Hex off Cheshire Cat. Trying to get the Spirit on him. The Stomp will come, but Dendi moves himself back down the lane, and now they can trap him in. Sonido, he'll actually jump himself up with the attack from Line and Dendi both followed him up the hill. FNG couldn't get the leech seed off. He tried to turn for it. The Power Rangers brought a lot of support in very, very quickly. But then again, a Vorst. The bottle charges bring him back up again. He gets the leash over on the Naga Siren. No sleep to try and protect him. The Stomp will come down from the other Titan. But they break free very quickly of the sleep. And the Vorst is now on a killing spree. Instantly TPing back the ET to the mid lane. This will force Na'Vi to retreat, but at the same time, Vorst just runs himself down to the bottom lane. He's back to full life. Obviously, the wonders of a Shadow Dance. It's good movement speed as well as good regeneration. And this is a 3-0-1 Slark. So you ask yourself the question now. Okay, First Blood went the way. It went the way of the Timbersaw. But what's Timbersaw really done on this map so far? He's gone into the Arcane Boots. Yay. But there's been no other presence from him. He's not coming into the lanes. So when Timbersaw really comes into the battle, he's going to do a lot. Like he's still ahead in the net worth because he didn't have to rotate out. But Slark's only 200 behind him. And there's that Soul Ring now coming in as well for the Timbersaw. So it's like early Bloodstone into rotating for kills. But looks to be the only goal right now. Because they're not going to be taking towers. They'll flash farm up for the Naga Siren. The Okamashai has been prepping that one for a while now. Funnick. They can't reach him with J4. 360 speed versus 345. Okamashai not too fast. But again, of course, where are you running to? He's just out of vision so he can heal. And now they're switching their lanes up. Yeah, this is right. They needed someone to actually battle directly up against a Vorst, so they send their strongest hero to the bottom lane. So Shashlo will come in. This will buy a space now for the Naga Siren to get free farm up on top, especially after the injection of golden experience by taking out that triple stack. They still fell behind in that experience and net worth. And for all the control which they try to put inflicted to Dendi, not a lot of it's really worked. Sure, they got a kill on him, but he's got 1 kill and 2 assists to his name. And his net worth's not too shabby either. 3.6k as opposed to 2.9k at the Naga Siren. Dying 2 times for no kills. And that's why probably Power Rangers put her up towards the top lane. Because they realized that like without the catch-up farm, the Naga Siren won't be the hero they needed to be. And they needed to be a Radiance hero. A Radiance hero with a lot of life points. And Funnick now realized, like, yes! I have Wisp and Naga. These guys can't do jack to me. The Wisp basic attack is still 62 points of damage. Wait, is that a relocate? Yeah, it is. Jumping towards the middle lane, they go on Dendi. Dendi's got the buckler flying in right now, and he almost killed off Sonido. He's so low on life. Vanscore rotates in. Cheshire Cat will now take a fall. The relocate will pull him back in just a moment, and there she goes. But a failed gank coming in. In fact, Tidehunter waited for him up on the top to kill off the Wisp. The Ogre Magi desperately tried to scramble himself towards the Aegis then to deny himself up, but that's still going to be a 3-0. And because the tie was involved, he got himself solo experience. It's 520 experience points for the solo kill. And also, strands and Siren up on the top lane. Venscore rotates up. He's not level 6 yet, so he can't go for the straight initiation. But what he wants is, well, basically, okay, now we do. Oh no! That's not the plan, Stan. ET splitter, they have to bail out. The Stomp's well off targeted by Cheshire Cat. But the plan was to get the stun off. You'll go into a mana drain, and they'll make it impossible for any kind of reaction there from Siren. What I actually believe is actually meant to be called Sonra. I got tweeted about this before. I'm gonna actually double check. Also, shout out to the guy who tweeted at me like how he's watching his games tonight, and the poor bastard, he got done by my followers by saying, "Clean your room, clean your room." Poor guy. I'm actually trying to get back, but there's so many people who are just like type "clean your room" at this guy. Poor man. Poor man. Yeah, so it is actually Sonra. It's an Egyptian god. Obviously, I know Ra.
Is under attack.
Well, my Egyptian history is a little rusty on Sonra. Horvost, Blink Dagger, jump in. Ooh, he took a lot of damage then. Will leap himself away, but definitely shows Timbersaw that he's willing to fight. Problem is right now, Horvost, he's even going to get himself a haste rune. The Spirit will come down. Stomp or no stomp. He'll leap himself out. They need to get there in time for the blast. The Fire Blast will not be able to reach him. And Shashlo even hiding himself inside the pit. Normally I'd say that wouldn't be a great place for him to hide because he can't really chain himself away, but after seeing what Ice did inside that pit at ESL 1, I will not question decision. Typhonic Ravage back off cooldown 13 seconds time. Probably on the way he was able to secure that kill over on the Wisp. Sorry for not checking the abilities after the kill happened.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ogre Magi. Oh, man, how much would he give for just a multicast right now? Well, he needs his levels for it, but he can't come close to Viper. Because the second he does, if he gets Viper Strike, J4 gives away a free kill. That's just as simple as this mid lane gets. FNG's coming in close too. But this Ogre Magi is keeping his distance a very, very long way away. He's not risking anything, he's just trying to soak experience. But Dendi will not make it easy for him. He's already got 29 denies. Okay, misses that one. Now J4 finally comes close enough that Dendi thought he had an opening. Actually TPing in 3 heroes towards this mid. Finally concluded they want to try and force a team fight. Got both Overgrowth as well as the Ravage. And Vanscore's walking around with a finger of death. They put down the sentry ward just in case they thought they're being watched from the high ground, which technically they are. This Dire Observer ward is seeing in quite deep, so they know that Na'Vi is here. At the same time, I don't think they really care, Na'Vi. They're just going to force the tier 1 tower.
Dire's structures are
well, Horvost, again, having to back himself away from the Timbersaw. Such a really offensive hero up against the Slark, but Horvost, he gains so much life so quickly when he just disappears from the side of Power Rangers. And Power Rangers getting ready to fight in the mid lane. They've at least brought in Cheshire Cat, which means ET Splitter coming from the tree lines. They don't really see this in time. Dendi and Funnick will get clapped by that, but it's so little damage. The Living Armor's repairing Dendi anyway. They bring down the tower, and now Horvost is ready to pounce him. The Bloodstone is up for Shashlo. But I don't think they're capable of taking a team fight up against Na'Vi. I think Na'Vi realize this too. That's the reason why they have everyone in the mid lane. They're forcing their advantage while they have it. Put down a nice aggressive Observer Ward as well. He's actually a very... What is this little cliff area too? Just a little bit further down, just on the edge here. I have to put it up high, but it sees a very, very long way. Right. So Wisp and Naga, we still haven't seen any kind of presence from them. Bought a Radiance Recipe already from the Naga. Must have thought he's going to die at one point because that recipe now means he can't pick up the relic. He has the money for it. Sold the recipe, picked up the relic. Yeah, I got a feeling it was a misclick. It was a mistake. Because it must have only just been purchased, or else he wouldn't have got as much money back as he did. So the relic is now over on the Naga Siren. Yeah, it made no sense to pick up the recipe. Alright, Ogre Magi to go down the middle lane. Viper, another kill for him, and again Living Armor protects him. And again this Finger of Death not being used. While the Cheshire Cat, Trouble, Havorce into the Shadow Dance. The team will come in and actually relocate the other Titan away to safety. The rest of Power Rangers have to move in close for this. But Na'Vi aren't going to fight it. And let's let it go. They're taking the tier 1 tower in the top lane at the hands of FNG. Havorce needs to regenerate too, so he's going to back himself up for a moment. We've got 16-minute runes to control. And what are we going to get? Bounty runes, so more into the bottle of Havorce. And they know Sunito is there. Dark Pack, he's going to blink up. There's your instant damage, then into the leech, holding the Wisp in position. He'll tick out anyway. Doesn't matter what happened there with the tether up. While up on top lane, that Ravage, it's not available for Funnick. He's short on the mana. Now he's actually got it. Even after, he didn't even use the stick charges for that. So Cheshire Cat in the tree line. Another leech over here onto J4. Multicast, but not enough to really control anything. While Cheshire Cat hiding in the tree line. Funnick can't find him. He might be concerned too, the Cheshire. Yes, he can't TP out because he only TP'd up towards the top lane. Fairly certain Na'Vi will be aware of that too. So he'll stomp. FNG, Leech Seek, gonna give it all the life points back. Yeah. They even stick around to enjoy the extra life leech. And they take the tier 1 tower in the top lane. So 12-4, 3 euros lots of Power Rangers. This of course will not include the towers going down, which will actually be nice. Volvo, if you're currently tuning in, please include Tower Gold in the team fight recap. Even the income which I've picked up from creeps would be a nice thing to actually see. But Havorce goes back to his farming on the bottom lane. And I assume that's actually going to be Maelstrom. And I assume correctly, Courier is in fact flying it down from the mid lane. And now Maelstrom in snare. No! 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 It's a dragon! It survives! You can't kill a dragon, man! Wait, are they relocating for the Courier? Uh-oh! The Courier is gone. Flies even over Roshan and will get the Maelstrom over. The 6th player of Na'Vi with the ultimate jukes.
Radiant's middle tower is
And that's a relocate wasted. And the tier 1 tower in the middle lane slowly being chipped away. Vansko will come in to defend this. Such a great hero as well, the line up against Naga Siren. You can't battle with illusions up against this hero. Hexes and Mana Drain just get rid of the illusions instantly. Doesn't matter how strong they are. It just procs them. Now Havorce. Oh, the new bounty rune just pounces himself away after the Riptide damage. Roshan collapse over to Sino again. While up on top lane. A little bit of battle up against Shashlo. But will be the Wisp to go down. Havorce, man, this guy hits so hard already. It's up to 503. At least the Radiance will be completed for the Naga Siren, but the problem is it's a raw Radiance. You still got a hero who's sub 1,000 life points at a level 10. And she's your core. Well, the Wisp just keeps chipping in more experience and gold. And the Viper is also getting even more cocky. BKB this time will be purchased up by Dendi. He goes up to high ground, the Viper strikes, trying to keep J4 down, and then again, he can just kill J4 right now. One more attack and J4 is toast. The main charge will trigger, more supports coming in right now for Na'Vi. Of course, they'll try and tether and chase after Dendi. The ball's hitting him pretty hard, and then Vansko only stuns over on the illusions. And then the Hex, it'll actually mean that you can't get the pullback on the Shark Room straight away. Dendi, the Spirit, won't be able to reach him either. Nice Timber Chain with Whirling Death. And a lot of bonus damage into Na'Vi there. But a blink to Ravage. He wants the death of Naga Siren. A kill secure coming out from Vansko. One to kill before this kind of stuff could happen. Shashlo diving into the tier 1 tower. He's got his reactive armor charges at maximum at the moment. Havorce right behind him. He wants to pounce and control and Funnick being dragged down to double kill for this Timbersaw. Of course, that puts a big bounty on his head right now, and Havorce will take it from him. Sunito also. Viper, that Wisp coming in at low life. So we have Viper go down, Dendi right onto the tier 1 tower. And the other two as well, a little bit further back for the Tide. You underestimate the amount of power which is coming out from this Timbersaw. All the Bloodstone charges too that Shashlo was able to achieve. He actually lost it and more. But he's already up to 2.7k gold, and he put the dint into Na'Vi which he was searching for. When they're so far ahead, you kind of need some level of dint like that to try and plateau the advantage, which was just increasing and increasing. This is where my concern is kind of come in a little bit stronger for the Power Rangers lineup. Nursing this bottom tower. They're just going to keep living armoring it up. Mid tower as well. Top tower. All of these towers are going to be regenerated up. It's going to take time from FNG. And every time that Na'Vi try and fight, obviously, he can't just heal them up. He can't heal the towers up. Well, bottom lane, FNG, speak of the devil. 3-hero gank. There was no Rampage to protect him. But we will go down here. But PR, while this treant's down, they need to inflict damage. They need to bring down the towers, primarily. Without the injection of money, it's going to keep falling behind. And if they can go through an entire game without actually taking a tier 1 tower, it's going to cripple them for the later part of this best of 5. Like, Phonic is actually going to be our... I'm not going to say mech man because the mech's already done. They're trying to build into a pipe at the moment. Now, multicast, but blinks into the tree line. Fan score. A blind stun, going to miss. He's still going to get hit by this Wisp balls and goes down for Nagasaru. Ending a killing spree. The ET splitter will clean up the tree line. Not to mention the Timbersaw cutting through it. He knows the Phonic's going to be in the corner. Thought he might have been TPing out. Phonic, how quickly can you blink? The Chakram. Oh, I think they don't know where he is. He's in the tree line. He doesn't blink out. Anchor smash, 5 seconds until Ravage. TP support. It was coming, actually ends up being cancelled. He didn't come in the whole way. Phonic, the Ravage will pop. TP, can you do it, Phonic? He blinks. He's running. Dendi will come in. He'll actually give cover fire. Cheshire Cat ticking down very, very low. The relocate takes him all the way back to Fountain just in case. The tier 1 tower being protected by Fortify as well as living armor. But this will not save the tier 1 tower, and Na'Vi have no intention of battling that bottom lane. Not with the Ravage down. Now Power Rangers will take their first tier 1 tower of the game. Tier 2 tower takes a little bit of nibbling damage. Force was just up there farming. Looks like he's going to go into... Well, there could be a Lincoln Sphere, but more than likely we'll be looking at a rushed up Skadi after the Maelstrom build. BKB for Timbersaw now completed. 4-1 over on Shashlo. He's neck and neck with the net worth there of Vorst. And that's exactly what Power Rangers needed. The graphs now start to turn back their way. These illusions from Naga scouting out the fact that Na'Vi is over inside their jungle. While FNG, whoops, Nature's Skies, there's no tree there, man. He has to lead seed over onto the Nagasaru to protect himself for the moment. They're rotating down very, very quickly. FNG's really got to keep these towers back at full life. Even though PR Dendi wants to have a poke in, but no one's in there. PR don't have a bad lineup for Roshan, but it's not the greatest. Their DPS is still very, very low. Na'Vi, they're going to take the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Dendi will take a little bit of damage for this. I think he's just going to call for some living armor, however. Have no Ravage. Surprised Na'Vi are trying to force this. Like, Shashlo is the primary man. He BKBs as well. Timber chains through Vanscore. He is so toast. Chakram comes back off cooldown. That oldie from FNG only mildly controls up the Timbersaw.
Radiant's middle tower is
and Vorsus have this double damage, and he wants to go in. The BKB's down for Shashlo, and he goes instantly for Sneedo. He got the leash on too, so there's no way out of here for the Wisp. So it'll be a support for a support trade-off. However, the tier 1 tower is slowly being brought down by Sunra. And then he's trying to force him back. No more towers. They don't want to lose any more towers. Really good experience coming in there for the Sluck. He was so far up, he actually took the solo experience. That's level 16 now in for the Sluck. And 1,300 gold. He bought up anything else? What do we got in the courier? It's actually going to be a Lincoln Sphere. It's looking for protection. I suppose when you think about it, there really isn't that many stuns. And if he can evade the initial stun too, coming out from the Ogre Magi, he should be able to break free then. It really is too good. It's good regeneration. I say good regeneration when, like, I know like all he's got to do is just hide from the enemy, but it's going to keep the mana ticking up. And when he is visible, at least he knows he's going to regenerate. So Phonic towards the top lane. More defense required. Actually got a rotation from FNG, hiding inside that Nature's Guise of his. They need living armor on this tier 1 tower. And now it's going to come in. They see him? Nope. Funnick realized he has to tank this up. FNG will basically just dedicate his next like 4 living armor to bringing this tier 1 tower up. Tier 1 tower in the mid lane should also be another focus, but it's easier for the Na'Vi lineup to defend that. So primarily it should just be the top tower. Oh, they found a... Oh, wow, they found the Naga. That's bigger. A Vor's Vanscore here. Finger of Death going to be committed. And then it was just into the extra damage for the Dark Pack. They also managed to catch out Sonido. He's trying to relocate himself out, but looks like he got interrupted, and Zavos still able to chase him down. For all those wonderful people out there that did buy the D2CL ticket, congratulations on your ass. Zavos, you won't be able to catch up to Cheshire Cat. But they put observer wards up on the high ground. They should be able to easily be scouted out by Power Rangers. I don't know if they can really even get rid of them yet. Because Na'Vi is tightening the noose. They're controlling up now the Dire jungle, as well as adding pressure in towards the tier 2 tower on the top and the bottom. The bottom, the top and the middle. The bottom lane's being pushed out by Timbersaw. But he doesn't do damage to towers. He can build up creep waves that can do damage to towers, but he's not a tower killer. This is the primary weakness of the PR lineup. They don't have tower killers. Not unless you see Elder Titan walking around with Assault Cuirass as well as like a Monkey King bar sometimes. Then he's going to get clamped a little bit. Triggers the main charge because he wants to keep the creep wave alive as well. And they'll take the tier 2 tower. No fortification available, so just take the tower, they'll fall back, they'll control the jungle, and they'll push the top lane.
Bottom tower is under attack.
They don't have Finger of Death available, but still they have the Ravage up and running. So the ability just to jump in and initiate is easy enough. And you got a Blink Dagger on the Titan too. Actually now TP'd himself to the bottom lane, so they're actually not really in a great position to fight this. But neither are Power Rangers. They've still got Naga Siren farming up inside the jungle, or Vorce just leaves himself away. They want the tower down, it's in deny range, and they have to let it go. There's 4 heroes from Power Rangers, they don't have their Titans there. But then again, J4 out a long way. A Vorce will pounce in again, he focuses on this Wisp. He wants the buff up hero gone, and he got him too. Now the tree ulti, holding in position, charge flow, that BKB, most of it being wasted on, then he sends in his own BKB, Naga triggers the sleep as the BKBs wore off. Na'Vi have to wait. Vanscore trying to inch himself forward. The tower still not being denied. The Stomp holding a Vorce in position. But Na'Vi will finish the tower. The backdoor regeneration's kicking in, so they need a little bit more help. And I just grab the creep wave instead, charge flow. Now they've actually got a sentry ward up there, so they know there's an observer ward. That's a Dire sentry ward on top of the Radiant observer ward. Unless my eyes are tripping me, which they are not. Vorce got the... actually, he got the leash, but chain is a beautiful thing. With that full Mjolnir proc, doesn't want to come anywhere near him. The amount of pop damage is too much. Now Naga, TPs, Ravage, cancels the TP. That allows the Vorce to get there in time to relocate up on top of the hill, which means to tether down. He's got to keep this connection going a little bit longer, however. 7 seconds. Vorce, Blink Dagger up. Funnick is here too, he's going to lend the gush. Need more negative armor, relocate 1 second, he pulled him out. Cheshire Cat also coming in with the Spirit into Stomp. PR scrambling the defense. It's going to be more difficult now, there's a Blink Dagger over on the Lion. That BKB is also the least of their controls on Viper. He's got 3.5k gold. Still we're going to get to a point where Dendi could actually, I don't know if he wants to buy into a heart to try and survive up against the Timbersaw, or if he just goes straight into something more like a butterfly. Both choices are available. The Spirit's going to walk in, ruin Na'Vi's party for a moment. And the Stomp only just controlling Dendi. But you got FNG looking and waiting. With the BKB jumping from the Timbersaw, Chakram will go, but the plant from Funnick gives the protection they require. Sharshaw up and towards the high ground. Again, the splitter being used. He chains across, multicast onto FNG, but a Vorce pounces straight away. He won these supports. He couldn't get the leash off. Another 3-man Stomp, but a Vorce. The Mjolnir proc caught him out. Vanscore jumped up and found the Timbersaw on the high ground. Keeps the Suns going. They need more control. Finger of Death. He'll chain himself down, but he's right next to Funnick. The Anchor Smash range will actually end up killing him off. While the Vorce was keeping the rest of Power Rangers back past their tier 2 tower. More heroes lost. Roshan's going to go down. The top tower will be destroyed by the Dire side, but they're going to lose Roshan now to Na'Vi. And a Vorce, drop the bottle to pick up the Aegis Symbol, so FNG will have to carry the bottle for now.
I'll take that.
A Vorce, you greedy bastard!
Bottom tower is
if he left the bounty room for FNG, he could have actually had 3 bottle charges in for the Treant Protector as well. Of course. Be a team player, man. Team player. 2 observer wards up. Of course being watched so closely. But still, he's able to reach Cheshire Cat. Don't put the chakram. He had no real choice anyway, but the lightning proc was going to hurt him. And he's still got Shadow Dance on the Aegis Immortal. But he's trying to pounce up. He got him. The leash. Sharkstone didn't go all the way up. And now the Tether's going to come in. Of course, Aegis Immortal would be triggered already. Sure, he picked up the ET. He'll be able to blink himself away to safety. That Whirling Death coming just a fraction of a second too late. And look at him run. As quick as he can. The Observer Wall will scout out Sonido. Just sitting inside the jungle. Right next to, again, the Timbersaw, who chained himself away, which allowed for the pull down, but then he's BKB protecting him, and then FNG. Dendi, he still wants to back up. The Nagasar and Oldie is gone. The Chakram will fly up. Dendi actually now being controlled up by the sleep, and a Vorth pounces himself in. Gets the lead from the Nagasar. He doesn't have Shadow Dance available. Throws away his life. Beyond God Life 3 taken by the Nagasar. 851 gold for that one. And then they go into FNG and they'll take him as well. Look at the gold change up. Almost 1,500 gold for the 1 kill for Nagasar. And a little bit more because of the extra support. We include all 3 now. Yep, there you go. 1,500 and almost 1,400 for the Timbersaw. Not to mention 8.6k worth of experience swing. Now that is a hell of a lot.
Radiant's middle tower
that was kills that Na'Vi really did not need to give them. And that advantage is going to steeply change. Very, very steeply. From 17k down to 14. With just 3 kills. Of 2 big cores of Na'Vi. Oh, Funnick able to escape again. Nagasaren's finding more space now. This will be the Reap to be picked up. Getting into that heart after finishing up the Manda style. The illusion's going to become a lot more problematic for Na'Vi to deal with. Obviously, you do still have your Lion. And your Slyke is now building into a BKB, starting with his damage dealing item first. Wait, is it actually BKB? He is getting stunned up a lot. And he can't just rely on the Shadow Dance to get himself away to safety. Then normally you're just like, oh, I just pick up stat points instead. Unless he has a desire to go into a Desolator. Which wouldn't be a bad choice up against this Timbersaw. Steal his essence as well as his armor. FNG gonna find 2 heroes. Actually only sees the 1 though. There's an Invis Rune over on the Okamajai. Is there a gem? Is there something? Okamajai now gonna find Vanskor. A TP out. Is there any kind of sentry ward here? J4 living life on the edge, walking with this Invis Rune. He'll have to TP out the tree line. And their Observer ward up on the high ground, so they can see anyone coming in from the west. Relocate? Alright, I thought I heard it for a moment. Yes, they've been tripping me. Ty getting closer and closer towards this refresher orb of his. There's one else we got coming in. So we got a gem over on the Nagasaren. So Invis scouting now going to be happening with just the Naga illusions too. They're already problematic enough forcing out the lanes. I think Vanskor putting that mana drain to work. Trying to flash farm up the Trip Ancients.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And then at least give him enough for, well, basically the recipe. But he'll pick up the Void, the Perseverance to start with. More important, just have the basic regeneration before you can have the whole shebang. That's Na'Vi smoke time. It's Na'Vi smoke time. Vanskor, not enough mana for a Finger of Death, however. This is really problematic because they can't just jump straight away and know they got the burst damage. They do, of course, have Tide Ravage. That's nice. But to find this Nagasaren out, actually, if they claim her gem, it's probably even bigger. Now, they're smoked up, so she doesn't get any kind of detection for this one. And then to the tree line. The Hex, the Ravage, they need the Earth Spike, and then into a Drain from Vanskor. He needs to get this mana up, and he's got enough for the Finger of Death. He'll use it on the Nagasaren. Needed a dead before she got the sleep off. And now they're able to go over to the Wisp. That's a really, really big kill right there for Na'Vi. The gem being stolen. The Wisp trying to actually help her by relocating in to give the buff up. And they claim almost 3,000 worth of experience. And more importantly, 45 seconds on the sideline for the Nagasaren. Buyback is available, but will not want to be used. This Naga needs all the money she can get to that heart already. Yes, they try and slow it down. Is that a full Ags? It is.
is under attack.
over on the Timber Source. So they got double Chakrams and Fortification. I reckon PR can hold them out. With double Chakrams, an ET ulti if they really have to use it.
Dire's middle tower
Even
is
though
under
right now
attack.
Cheshire Cat doesn't really have a lot of mana. They need to keep Na'Vi out of their base. Double Chakrams again. They're still into a Wasp. He really doesn't care. He did actually buy that full BKB. Funnick doesn't have Ravage available at the moment. But they keep the pressure in, the Naga will be back alive again. And they took about 1,000 life points off the tower, and in fact Naga's BTs directly to the front lines. Potentially she could Naga sleep and try and catch him out of position. There's no ultis from Power Rangers that were put on cooldowns, so that was an option. Where is she checking? Roshan's not up yet. And in fact Na'Vi, they're so close to Shashlo, they could sniff him. Getting burnt up by these damn Radiance illusions. And Avors goes back to farming. What's new coming out? Got a Blink Dagger over on the Tree and Protector. Even Lion's walking around with its own Hood of Defiance. A lot of cash into Vanskor, in fact. Funny's trying to find his
Radiant's
remaining
bottom
points.
tower is under
And he's
attack.
basically got it. So, Refresher Orb, Double Ravage going to be available during the next team fight. This is up against a lineup that has 1 BKB, and that's on the Timber Star. And he had that for a while. So he's only down to 6 seconds on the duration of that BKB. They found an opening. No, they haven't. FNG's watching him too close. The Sentry Ward will drop. They'll scout an FNG. He'll go invis again. They drop a second Sentry Ward now, and FNG will die in the tree line. It's a lot better that FNG dies than it was one of the cores like Funnick. Especially when Avors is doing this on the top lane. They need to bring 2 heroes back to stop him. The ET split is going to be used. Avors just moves up. Evades it very, very easily. You can see it coming from a mile away, really. And then goes Sparkle Sparkle.
Close, but not quite.
That's an easy retreat out. But the Butterfly now fully up for the Viper. Direct attacking into Dendi, going to be negative